What you gotta go to?
Yowza.
I love that music video.
Which one?
There's like a huge gold chrome tank that comes onto a basketball court. There's people dunking, and like the gold tank like shoots the backboard. Hello, everyone. This is GT Time. I'm your host/moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us as always is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones,
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth,
I still can't picture exactly what you're describing, but okay.
and Michael Damiani.
It's from a music video, but it's awesome.
So now we're gonna have to keep that as part of the show because
know.
that's what you did. You did that on purpose. All right.
Now you're gonna have to show it and get it cleared by legal.
It has been. That's true. It's been a long time since we've had the original crew all assembled.
Assemble.
It's been, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. We've always had like one person out, maybe just 2, but we're all here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Feels real different.
What feels different about it?
That was a joke. It doesn't feel different at all.
Yes, it does.
I
Dynamics.
thought
It's
it was
all
joke
about
time. I thought we
dynamics.
were opening with jokes.
No, you can open with a joke. Go ahead.
That was it. That was my joke.
This is our last episode before E3, or unfortunately not doing an E3 episode next
E3
week.
time.
So yeah, this is GT E3 time. I'm so pumped. Let's get into it. Today, it's another day where basically we only have good news.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's a really exciting thing.
The day's young.
The day is young.
News might break like while
We
we're
could
in
have
here.
some bad news
Someone
break.
just opens up the door. You guys,
It's been
you
canceled.
got to talk about this.
Yeah. E3's being canceled next year. It's moving back to Santa Monica.
No, move. No.
I would love that. I'd be okay with that. All right,
No.
so big news this week. Monday was a strange day because 3 big sequels were announced. Mortal Kombat
3.
10.
No, it's Mortal Kombat X.
Are you positive?
Pretty sure.
Why?
Someone was telling me that they're not. Ed Boon was saying it's not called 10. It's called Mortal Kombat X.
Show me a tweet.
We need that tweet before we can like.
Because yes, I mean I know the last one was technically everyone referred to as Mortal Kombat 9, but it was
Yeah.
just called Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
So
Boon's
and this
calling
is
it
the 10th
X, huh?
one.
I gotta give respect to Boone.
Somebody's
I'll do
going to
it.
call it Cross now.
Yeah.
Great.
So Mortal Kombat X,
With the letter X.
the letter X, Homefront: The Revolution, and Forza Horizon 2.
What's up?
Is that what you're excited about?
E3's early, son.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that.
This is going to become the new pre-E3 week.
I love it.
This is where people just go do like their announcements because they're either not going to be in the press conference or won't have actual like airtime or not airtime, but speaking time,
Right.
like actually showing off their game during it, other than like a sizzle reel.
No.
Or they just don't want to get drowned out by everyone being on the show floor and not paying
Right.
attention to everything.
Forza Horizon 2 will definitely get a lot of attention on the show floor, and will definitely get a lot of attention in their press conference. That like doesn't apply to that game at all.
I think that honestly has a lot to do with just the whole IGN first thing they're doing. So that game got announced because IGN wanted something, and that was something Microsoft was willing to give.
That was announced on IGN.
Yeah, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know
They
that's
kind of
how
have a
that
new
works.
thing. They're trying to be the new Game Informer.
Yeah,
where
they're
they
based-
negotiate
Ooh,
exclusive
okay.
reveals.
So IGN first, like the annoying guys in the comments.
That
Of
is
all
really
things
funny.
to name it. Yeah.
They got first with an exclamation point. And so Forza Horizon 2's announcement was exclusive to IGN.
Yeah, and they're getting an exclusive teaser today, and such.
That's
So,
bizarre. I mean, good for them, I guess.
yeah.
Brandon,
I
you
mean, we have a bunch of exclusives on Monday, so
Yeah.
we've been playing that game for a long
And
time.
I also
right.
didn't hear it from IGN, so I mean I don't know how important that is. I mean I'm never the one that schedules exclusives, but just the fact that like I didn't know that. It's like
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That didn't work.
Right,
you know?
it kind of didn't work. I still didn't
It's not like I'm your
associate it
weird
with
cousin that
IGN.
doesn't play games. Like I consider myself, I think about games a great deal, and it's like I didn't know that.
Whereas Game Informer, I think it's real effective. Whenever they announce something, they have their cover. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
And so you definitely do associate that with Game Informer. It is hard for, I guess.
And there's usually just like 1 or 2 pieces of art, and so it's like that's all hands off for the
Yeah.
rest of us. And yeah,
Brandon, when I mentioned that there were 3 big sequels announced this week, you said, I love it.
I love it.
Why? What's up?
I it's like the whole year in 2 weeks, and so it's kind of like how Christmas keeps going back and back and back. Everyone doesn't release their game on the same day, and you never really know 100% when you're going to be releasing games or news compared to your competitors. And so they just have this week before, and we did get some trailers last week that I don't think we called E3 trailers, but like they were big game announcements. And
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just fun to see. Like, I bet none of those 3 people knew that any of those other announcements were happening. And so
Sure, they're like, oh, we're going to take Monday. We're going to be the big story on Monday.
it's,
You're right, yeah.
it's 3 random games, Forza and Mortal Kombat. You couldn't make 2
Yeah.
totally different games.
Yeah.
And then I need to watch the Homefront thing because I mean, it's weird because I don't have any kind of expectations for that game, right? The first game was kind of back and forth in terms of reception and, but this is being done by entirely different people.
So, Blood, after watching that trailer, I think you will leave the trailer with the same amount of impressions as you come in with.
Okay.
You know what that trailer is. You could write it down right now for us, and we could read it out loud, and that would be exactly what the trailer is.
Okay,
in fact, let's do that.
So
What do you think the trailer
there's
is?
Soviets marching in on the U.S. and there's a shopping mall or something like that?
It's not a shopping mall, but it is a public street.
Okay. And, and there's a bunch of people, like, running into a backyard full of weapons and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you get it. You know what that trailer is. By the way, are North Koreans considered Soviets?
Oh, I forgot they did the North Korean thing.
Yeah,
in the
it's
last
North
Homefront
Korea.
game,
Yeah.
Because it's got the original was the same guy that did Red Dawn, so it was just like a modernized Red Dawn.
Right. But there was that whole funny thing where it was meant to be China. China makes way more sense, but China doesn't want to be the bad guy in a video game, so they changed it to North Korea.
Right, because nobody cares what North Korea thinks.
Yeah. And all
They're
these
going around trying to shut down barbershops in the UK.
Are they really? What's that story?
Just look it up. It's a weird story.
Okay. Weird to me. What's weird about them is, Brandon, I get that it's exciting for these things to be announced now, but I don't think that any of these three pieces of media or even just, the IGN announcement were exciting in themselves, which is what I was surprised by. I mean, last week I was hyped for a new Mortal Kombat. Watched the trailer, did not leave hyped. And I'm wondering if that's just me. Do you know what I mean? Am I the only one who these kind of just didn't impact?
I mean, are you sure it wasn't the way it was revealed, like the actual content of the trailer that left you a little like? Imagine if that was revealed during E3. It'd probably be a little bit more exciting. But would you have walked away like, man, that was awesome looking? I'm speaking to like the music selection they used for that. Like that kind of killed it for me.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh crap, there's a trailer today. I can't wait to check this out. Like, what is Mortal Kombat going to look like now? And the star was like, ooh, cool reveal of Sub-Zero. This looks pretty cool. And then the music kicked in. I was like, I thought I had another YouTube video playing in the background.
a lot of people
I was
said
like,
that,
whoops.
actually.
And then I was like, nope, this is it. And I'm like, why did they pick this song? And then the lyrics, "Who's next?" is in there near the end. I'm like, and that's like the tagline they're going with.
Right.
I was like, really? That's kind of why you picked the song?
I was more impressed by it before I found out that it was actually CG.
That was such
'Cause
a bummer.
yeah,
Why?
I don't
Oh,
feel like Mortal
yeah.
Kombat is a franchise that needs a CG trailer.
No.
Or at least if you do, it shouldn't look like gameplay. It should be something completely different, like how
That's
Street Fighter's
exactly the
intro
point,
was.
Blood, is
Yeah.
that it was a CG trailer that looked like gameplay. You're right. If it was a story CG trailer, yes.
And presented like gameplay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been so exciting if they, like, at the end it goes, that was in-game footage. Like, oh, man, this is going to be awesome.
As actually, the more I see Batman Arkham Knight footage or news, the more I get less excited about that game. And as much as I am bummed that they're going to show like a Batmobile battle mode at E3, I did like that the trailer that they released, granted wasn't like the announcement of a brand new game, kind of teased what you could see at E3. It was like, here's some new information to whet your appetite, and then here's specifically what you can look forward to. Here's exactly what we're going to be showing. We're not going to show it yet. So I think it would have helped for like Homefront and Forza, and I think Forza did because they didn't have a trailer, so it was more of like a news announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just that.
There will be a teaser trailer by the time this goes up, I think. But yeah.
If the Mortal Kombat trailer at the end kind of had a tease, it was like, see you at the booth, or here's our booth number, here's what we're going to be, here's what we're going to show, then you would be a little more excited. It would seem less just like, oh, okay, the one-shot deal on a Monday and then it's over, but more like the build-up to what's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
That's what you want to sell it as.
They could have been better trailers, I think.
Well, there's that too. I think that's a totally separate.
Let's all go to the trailers.
Which we'll get into that
We'll talk
tomorrow,
about that on
Kyle.
Saturday. Yeah, let's do that on Saturday. Weird week. One thing I did want to talk about with Forza Horizon 2 that I think is really interesting is that it is coming out on the Xbox One as expected, but also the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Very interesting because Forza 5 did not come out on Xbox 360.
Right.
Bloodworth, why do you think this is coming out on two different consoles?
I think they probably saw what happened with Titanfall and how well that 360 version did, and that they're like, well, this is. It's weird because, like, to me, Forza Horizon has potential to be my ideal racing game. I'm more excited for that series than I am the mainline Forza, but I think there is a sense that Forza Motorsport is still the big guy, and Horizon, is kind of, they can play with that a little bit more and they can branch it out a little bit more.
And you like that sort of creativity in the games?
Well, I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, to them, it's not as important or as premium So that we can put that on Xbox 360 as well. And then that way we can actually, make sure we sell more copies.
Yeah, and I should note that it is like Titanfall, completely different team.
Yeah.
It's Sumo, the people who did Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, they're a great, capable team, exactly. Just weird. I don't know, to you, Brandon, does it diminish what you think of the game for it to also exist on like a generation before it?
Yeah, only because it's an open world game, and the news that I heard about Forza was it was going to be just like ridiculously bigger than the map of the first game, which would make sense.
Well,
if it was an
they're opening up more of the map so you can drive off road more, and it's going to be in Southern Europe this time instead of Colorado. So I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of, really gorgeous views. So. And they did a lot of great things right with that game. I mean, just in terms of like some of the multiplayer stuff they had in there, like this feels like legit multiplayer that like they put a lot of time and effort in, and like crazy modes and stuff.
You can have all of that on an Xbox 360.
Yeah,
it seems, which is a strange thing, right?
But, obviously it'll be higher quality and all that. Car games, the better visuals and stuff actually does kind of make a difference.
So you'd still say Xbox One's clearly the only one you get. That's still going to be the definitively best version of that game. Not a big deal.
I mean, but we'll see because Titanfall, like a lot of people were satisfied with the 360 version. It was a surprisingly well done port.
Right.
So if they can pull off that same level of competency, then people may not have to jump in just yet.
And I guess why I think this is crazy is that when the Xbox 360 came out, the original Xbox Prime, died immediately. Microsoft killed it.
Yeah.
And they're showing long-term support for the Xbox 360 as the Xbox One is trying to gain ground. And I think it's a really a strange thing for this company. Damiani, do you think they want the Xbox 360 to continue to sell?
I think the difference is the original Xbox, even though it finished second overall in that generation, it was still way behind like PlayStation 2 and didn't have, I wouldn't call it the most significant user base.
Sure.
Like it and GameCube were pretty low.
Around 20, I think.
Yeah, they were on the lower end. And Xbox 360, while both PS3 and 360 were struggling a bit against the Wii at first, 360 eventually took over and became like the leading selling system month in, month out here in the US at least. And then towards the end, I think PS3 changed that. They started to win a little bit. But Xbox 360 kept touting like for like 10 months in a row or 12 months in a row, we've been like the leading. They have a larger user base for the 360 than they ever had with Xbox.
And it's a really active
and
user
it's
base.
active.
I think that's the thing. They're still buying games.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and with how Xbox One is doing, it wasn't doing terrible, but it was falling far enough behind PS4 that they needed to do the whole removing Kinect thing. I think they're going to wait to push hard on Xbox One again. They're going to do like another push with some games. We'll see at E3. But in the meantime, they want to keep they're like, we can't abandon 360 yet. Like we need the sales from that. Or Xbox One's not doing well enough. We can't give up on that yet. So I feel like for at least the next year or two, you're going to be seeing like cross-gen announcements for Xbox 360 until either Xbox One gets to a comfortable place where they're like, all right, we can kind of like scale that back, or maybe not. Maybe Xbox One never catches up. I don't know if you saw that. Like there was some survey that I saw posted on GAF that some research firm conducted that said like a significant amount of people still are not going to have no interest in buying Xbox One despite the option to buy it for $100 less. Like that's how burnt they still feel about Microsoft's like messaging over the past year and a half.
Yeah, and I mean, I think most of them would have bought it, during the month of March when it was $100 off and had a free game included, So, I mean, their biggest chance of changing minds is honestly games is going to be E3 and what they can present and say is exclusive to their platform.
Yeah, and I mean, great games were released on the older generation console even last time. Like God of War started off on PlayStation 2, while
Final Fantasy 12, I think.
And Final Fantasy 12, right on the cusp of like PS3, and it's like those games there are, and like the Persona games always come out on like a generation older console for their mainline ones, and then they do well enough. So it's not like you have to absolutely make a game for the current gen consoles.
I do think after Persona 5, the jump to next gen will be a lot easier for them. I think the jump to HD has been what holds them back.
I would say that's a little bit of a factor last generation why some people were hesitant to jump into 360 or PS3 development for their next mainline title because it was just so cost prohibitive because of the HD development that developers are saying we can't do this is too expensive. put it on PS2 and like the original put it on PS2. There's 150 million of those things like around the world. Like people will still buy it.
Yeah, and everyone did.
And I think that's also why cross-gen is lasting longer this time around, because there's not as extreme of a jump in terms of your investment.
Yeah, if we're being honest, it doesn't diminish anything from Forza Horizon 2 for there to be 2 generations of it. I feel like. Yeah, I'm being like mean about it, but actually, I think it's a good thing. I think it's totally a good thing.
I think though, when the difference is maybe a little bit is that you did see Forza 5 come out as Xbox One only.
Yeah.
And they kind of set the expectation a little bit. All right, well, at least one of their biggest exclusive franchises is going to be on the current gen now only.
Yeah.
And now you see this. I can see why there's a little bit of like apprehension from some people about moving this one to be cross-gen.
Moving to the new generation. You're right.
Yeah. Like if it's a big name title and it's cross-gen, people get a little bit hesitant right now. But it's a balancing act.
Of like, oh well, we still need to make money is I think what the decision was made.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, you have to understand like people want there's been a little bit of a game drought for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like we want games. I mean, you could argue that's maybe why you argued a little bit that Watch Dogs sold because of hype. I might in your little Final Bossman video. I'd also say it was a little bit because there weren't like people want games on their systems. It's like where are the games? Like we need something. Oh, cool game. I'm buying it because it's the only thing I have to play.
Yeah. We covered that last week.
My little Final Bossman episode.
So let's move on to another subject.
Okay, fine. Bloodworth is moving us forward to his subject, actually. CD Projekt Red had a little press conference. CD Projekt Red and...
this little podcast.
Actually, this is probably
it was a little press conference, actually. Yeah, it was a little...
It looked like the old school E3 ones.
It was basically, it looked like they shot it in this room with like a black tarp over the wall.
Made the Konami stage look huge.
Blood, I didn't get a chance to watch it, so you're probably going to have to lead this part of the conversation. What happened?
It was pretty simple. They did a lot of businessy type talk, and
What is businessy type talk for them?
So they talked something. They said some stuff about GOG,
good old games,
having an optional client. So kind of like the Steam client, where you can keep track of all your friends and all that stuff. But if you don't want bogging down your game, it's not like always running in the background like Steam does. So we kind of checked out on that. So, but essentially, their big thing is always the DRM free and all that kind of stuff. And doing things that make sure it's like optimal for hardcore PC gamers. And then they started off with talking about the editions for The Witcher 3 and kind of bemoaning as you have like all of the different versions that people come out with, and that like, oh, well, if you buy this version, then you don't get the thing that's in the other version and all of that. And, they essentially just laid out, like, there's, in just the regular edition, you're going to get, like, a manual and a map and, like, a little catch-up on, like, what The Witcher is all about and a soundtrack in just the base version. And then...
Which is cool.
Is that the same as, like, a regular game?
Yeah, that's the regular game.
And it comes with all those things.
The soundtrack.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
And then the collector's edition is the one that comes with the big statue and the wolf medallion and some other higher end stuff. And then they laid out some talks about what comes with the digital versions as well.
Announced a release date, February 24th.
Yeah, February 24th.
That, by the way, I'm very excited about. When they said 2015, I'm like, oh, it's going to be fall 2015. That is so cool.
I want to say they had said February at least before.
Wow, I was so skeptical. I'm really excited to be able to play
and then they revealed the trailer, which we had all watched like 10 times the day before.
Yeah.
When we got it, so we would have it up on time.
That was in heavy rotation. A fantastic trailer.
Yeah. So good. So many little things hidden in there. If you want to go frame by frame, like we found the CD Projekt Red logo on a weather vane. There's some crazy monster under the water that you don't see unless you just have it on pause.
Oh, that shot where your gameplay in the ocean and like the waves just look better than any waves you've ever seen in your life.
Or where he's swimming underwater?
No, when he's swimming underwater and the boat's above him. There's like this monster that comes by on the edge of the frame.
Cool.
Lots of great stuff. They actually had some of the bits of Charles Dance's acting in there for the Emperor of Nilfgaard. And then, some nice little reveals of different characters. And I'm still trying to sort out who's who. I'm like, is that white-haired girl Ciri or Yennefer? Because it's like...
Lady Witcher, yeah.
Well, it's not really... Well, yeah, Ciri would be a Lady Witcher. But, yeah. But then I'm like, but then it's the black-haired girl Yennefer, and so I'm just trying to, I have to go back and look at people's descriptions and stuff, and then I haven't finished the books because
Get back in the books.
They're not all in English yet, so I'm I'm not entirely sure where those storylines go. So, but if both of them are in the game, that would be great.
So the question I wanted to ask all of you is, do you think that other small studios could benefit from putting on this kind of show, this kind of, I don't want to call it a small press conference, but a smaller scale press conference?
I don't know what you benefit from this that you wouldn't just making a video where you have the developers in the video too. That's just we want to give you a little bit more information. I don't know what you gain from actually being there in that room, because wasn't where they wanted to be. Didn't that not work out? So they were in this super tiny room.
Oh, so they didn't mean to be in the curtain room?
Yeah, there are some location changes or whatever.
That's funny.
But it's if you were in a movie theater, that'd be then I'd go, because I can't see that, any screen that I have access to wouldn't be as big as that, so I would go to watch that for the first time.
I feel they did have some other trailers in there, but I feel like they should have done something live. Just giving PowerPoint.
You mean like a gameplay demo?
Yeah, just giving PowerPoint and trailers, it doesn't, really, to me, feel like I need to be there. But at the same time, you don't know what they're going to do. So just having a conference at all is I've got to watch it.
Yeah, so take advantage of your liveness if you're going to do a live press conference. I get that.
But, how Konami has had press conferences in the past and done them, in the middle of E3. This is probably the better time to do it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be one of the big five or whatever that's there on Monday and Tuesday, then do it the week before and get your stuff out there.
Yeah, I would love for Capcom to do a little live stream, but I guess we saw their press announcement earlier today.
That's so sad.
That's just their playable stuff on the show floor.
Yeah, well, that's the stuff that'll be out this year, most likely, right?
That's true. That part's disappointing.
Right.
We can always have hope for an announcement or two.
That's true. Some things end up
the press
coming out
conference
this year
stuff.
that aren't. There's
still hope for the press conference stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dead Rising acceptable frame rate edition. Yeah.
Oh, whoa, blood, burn.
Well, he's been preparing that one. He told me about that one a couple days ago, to be honest.
Yeah. They officially announced the PC version.
Just wanted to be ready. Yeah. That's what I should have told him.
Yeah.
Phoenix Wright trilogy.
You threw his joke under the bus.
I did.
Yeah. I told him and I told Ben yesterday. Yeah.
That's good.
So more good news. We talked a lot about Watch Dogs last week, breaking records, broke more records, sold 4 million in its first week. That is more, apparently, in a first week than any new video game IP ever in all time. How crazy is that?
Wow.
Insane. Also, Mario Kart has some crazy sales. 1.2 million for Mario Kart 8.
I guess, the way things... what works in their favor on both of these, I think, is the global releases are a thing now.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's we can break all the records because we actually came out in all the territories at the same time, rather than, it's
that's kind of how movies work now, actually.
Yeah, it's Japan is first, and then, U.S. is 2 months later, and then Europe's a month after that. We're now in an era where people are actually more coordinated with all of that stuff.
Right.
So it's easier to break records like that.
There's also Damiani's theory about the drought.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't feel like the drought helped Wolfenstein, though. Do you know what I mean?
Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
I think it actually
was that only next gen? I forget. Or only current gen and not on PS3 and 360?
I thought we all agreed we're going to say 7th and 8th gen on the show.
No, current. I gotta guess. There is no next. The next gen hasn't even been announced yet. We're on current gen, and 360, PS3, and Wii are last gen.
How can you say so? There's a game, Forza Horizon 2, that is a new game that's coming out on last gen this fall.
Current and last gen consoles. That's how you say it.
7 and 8th. No,
they're both equally stupid.
That means nothing.
They are both equally stupid. But was Wolfenstein on 360 and PS3?
No, I don't believe it was.
Okay, so it was not, and it didn't sell well. I didn't see the sales numbers for it.
Nobody did.
Oh. Okay, well.
So yeah, maybe
it sold something.
Maybe it did bonkers.
It didn't do Watch Dog numbers, but
right,
Watch Dog.
exactly.
So Watch Dogs, both Mario Kart and Watch Dogs had two things going for it. They did have hype because Watch Dogs was highly anticipated last fall, and I think the average person was bummed that it didn't come out, but they didn't write it off people who are more in tune with the gaming industry. Oh, that's bad news. It's delayed. Why did they do that? This might not be good, but still. Everyone was really excited about that, and it impressed everyone with its trailers at E3. There was nothing everything you saw about it, I was like, I got to try this game. I have to do that. Mario Kart 8, it just looked gorgeous. Like, all right, this looks awesome. It might still be the same Mario Kart, but it looks so good. So they each had a hook and impressive showings, but they also came after a long period of like no big releases for each of their systems. Donkey Kong was in February. It's like, hey, Wii U owners, what have you been playing since Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze?
No, I mean, I did honestly want to speak to that.
You've been playing like downloadable virtual console games.
I'm like goofing on your opinion a little bit, but I think that these delays were very strategic. I think we knew Mario Kart's been done for a while. And so I think they were strategic, and I want to ask you if you think they were a good decision. Like, did Watch Dogs sell better this month than it would have back in November?
Ooh, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say, but I think it did. I think that it would have been harder to fight up to those 4 million back in November.
I'd probably agree. It probably would have sold more coming out as a launch title on PS4, especially, and that sales probably would have held longer too. That we'll see how long the tail end of the sales of Watch Dogs is, like next month's NPD and
I bet
the
it
month
will drop.
after.
Yeah.
If it's still even charts and stuff like that, I feel it would have remained a little bit more like. Would have remained on NPD a little bit longer
as
and
more and more
sold
people
better.
get their PS4s.
Yes,
and Xbox
because it was at the
Ones.
launch.
I get what
People
you're
are still
saying.
trying to get a PS4. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it works the other way around because PS4 has been, and the Xbox One have been building up all of these numbers and numbers of people that have these systems with nothing to play on them, and now it's like they all get the game at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, also the install base for PS4 wasn't that big yet. It's a new system, so there are only a finite amount to sell. So now it's like how many months after the launch, there is a bigger install base, so there are more people who are able to, like, it's easier to make more games than it is to make more systems at the start.
Yeah.
So that also could factor into it. I think it's a toss-up for Watch Dogs. Like, the immediate sales might have been different just because it's a new system in November with PS4. It might not have been as high right then, but it might have sold better longer. Well, that remains to be seen. I think it probably did better coming out now. But for Mario Kart, a little bit that holds true, but like Nintendo, they're just not getting any third-party support.
Yeah.
I think they strategically, as much as it sucks, they have to stagger their releases.
They have to drop
because they have nothing else.
It's
like
so
everyone's
yeah.
like, I know people like Mario Kart should have been out like at launch. Like it would have helped the Wii U sell better. That's cool. And then what if Donkey Kong came out in December like it was supposed to? What would we have played this year right now?
Right.
We would have had nothing for 6 months.
Yeah.
So they kind of sadly have to do that. And when did Pikmin 3 come out again? Wii U's been out for long.
Like
I keep forgetting
It came out in
Wii U.
August.
I keep forgetting Wii U didn't come out last November.
Right,
like that's
yeah.
how far behind I am.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the problem is like with Wii U, it's more people. You saw this with the N64 when games took forever to come out and there wasn't a lot to play. As soon as a new Nintendo published game came out, it sold a lot initially. It was just whether or not it could keep selling that much.
Yeah.
And the difference was with Wii had more releases more frequently and it had a higher install base, so it was getting a lot more people to buy it initially, and then there was so much to play on there that people would wait. Like, I don't need to buy this right now. Like, Nintendo's been putting out a new game every month somehow, like some wizardry.
Yeah.
And like, was it 2007 or 2008? They had a new first party like Wii title like every month, even if one of those was like
Wii Party.
the WarioWare game, Smooth Moves, and the one with the controller was that Wii Party.
Yeah.
Right.
They still had stuff like that, but
We play.
We Play.
Nice. That was
Yep.
it. Yeah, the one with the free Wii remote, which I think that's why that one sold so much because everything was hard.
Yeah, I mean,
to
that
buy.
thing was on the charts forever.
But I mean, that's not. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to have to rely. You'd rather have the giant third-party support. You'd rather have a steady stream of games to keep people buying stuff every month because you have to imagine you're missing out on software sales that like one look great to investors. Like, look how much software we're moving on this platform. Like, people are buying software. Hey, developers, you need to come start developing our system. Wii U needs that more than like PS4 needs that. PS4 is fine with that right now with how well they're doing. But at the same time, it's like you want to move consoles. Like, I don't think PS4 is still sold out everywhere. I think it's pretty easy to get a PS4. So they needed the games. I think Watch Dogs hit at the right time as people are starting to like maybe PS4s are getting a little easier to buy. But it's more Wii U. Wii U is the one that needs all this more than Sony does.
One thing to add on to that that's different. You have to also remember that I think it was like 2 years ago at E3. There was like Star Wars 1313 and Watch Dogs. The two games. It was like, wait, what? Hold on a second. I had to rewind. Like that looks way better than it should. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And I remember when we first, like you were saying, we get the stuff a little bit early. We're all kind of looking at each other like, okay, who knows? Get Keely in here. What console is this? What are we looking at?
Yeah.
And it was like, is this PC? Is this PS4?
We weren't sure.
And so
Yeah.
the 1313 didn't happen. And so like Watch Dogs was like the next gen game. It was like the one game that like was going to come out on every platform, and it was like the proof of concept. It's like, well, if I'm going to get either next gen system, I gotta play Watch Dogs because that's like that's the game that we knew. Like, oh, other things are going to be on both systems, but like this was the this was
But
the
I
next gen
think
game
it works
to get.
on that other sense too. It is a cross-gen game. It is on everything. So not just the people that have PS4s and Xbox One.
7 and 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
But everybody else.
But the PS4, I think they announced it. The majority, or it wasn't actually the majority. It's like half of all copies of Watch Dogs sold were for the PS4 version, which is crazy. That's nutso. That's that thing. That's like, oh, I want a next gen game. Here it is. No, thank you, Knack. So what I wanted to do to wrap up this episode is talk about E3, our E3 plans, because we got lots of crazy E3 plans next week, and then what we're excited about personally about E3, because we're all going to go see things, which is really cool. So Damiani, we'll start with you over on that end. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, we should talk about E3 All Access and the stage bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll also, this will go up before our live stream.
Yes.
So we're going to be live streaming for 3 hours today.
Yeah, that's on Friday.
4 o'clock.
Friday, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Twitch.
Yes.
On Twitch.
Our Twitch channel.
All that.
Yeah, pitch that, Damiani. What is that?
So we're going to do a 3-hour kind of like pre-E3 hype where we will discuss we're going to discuss we're going to break down all the press conferences that are going to be there and what we expect, what we know will be there for sure. For those of you because there's a lot of information out there right now.
Yeah, there's a ton.
So we'll do our best to research and figure out what is actually confirmed to be there, and it's definitely going to be at each of the press conferences. We're including Nintendo in this list of press conferences.
Why do you roll your eyes when you say that?
Because people, when you say press conference, think live, but I don't care if it's live or not. Nintendo's doing an event, and it's I count it as a press conference.
Me too.
It's their news pack.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a news pack.
News pack. I don't like that word.
The political action committee did make more games.
Lunchbox.
Yeah.
No, we'll go over what we know will be there and what we expect will be there, and then predictions. We'll do predictions what is the crazy thing that no one has said. No one has said, but just things that we think or hope will actually be there.
Yeah.
We'll actually go over what our first E3s were. I don't think enough people discuss what was it like going to your first E3. So even if people aren't GT staff aren't on the stream during that part, we got everyone to send in what was their first E3, what was their fondest memory from any E3. So what was their favorite thing they saw at E3 or did at E3, and then we're gonna also at the end we're gonna reveal our top 10 most anticipated E3 games
as part of the stream.
As part of the stream, but
cool.
Before we do that, we're gonna do the staff picks. What are the 1 to 3 most anticipated games for each staff member?
That's a good idea. I like the staff picks. I always like those.
And also, we'll talk a little bit about E3 in general. Some people don't know everything about how actually E3 works and stuff.
Yeah.
But also, maybe a little bit of discussion about how relevant E3 is and stuff, because it seems to be the hot topic right now with all this stuff being released so ahead of E3. Why do we need an E3 with Nintendo not doing a live press conference? I think it'll be good to talk about that for a little bit.
Cool.
So all that fun stuff in there, and of course, Twitch chat, ask us questions and stuff. We're going to be answering all that. So if you have questions about E3 or you want to tell us what you're most excited about seeing, definitely going to have that interaction going on there.
So that's cool. That is 3 hours of everything you could watch about E3.
Yeah. And we're going to try and grab some of the latest videos to roll in there every now and then, so it's not just everyone looking at.
It's why go to E3 if we have our live stream?
Yeah,
that's
we are
the question
everyone's
asking.
The
Sure.
It's why
the
even
preeminent
go?
pre-E3 stream.
So then we have a weekend to prepare things. And then on Monday is the first day of E3 on Game Trailers at 9 a.m. Everything begins, our live stream, Microsoft's press conference.
We go for 12 hours, right?
I think it goes for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 hours.
So it's 9 a.m.'s Microsoft's press conference, then EA, then Ubisoft, then Sony, and there's never more than, I think, 2 hours in between. It is a full day of just watching
and
the
those
best
2 hours
stuff.
in between, we have tons of stuff.
Demos.
Have not been anywhere else.
Yeah.
Lots of unannounced title from ex-publisher. Secret titles.
Yeah, secret title, unannounced secret project.
We're going to have a lot of really great guests on Monday. Just a lot of diverse people that we're bringing in from
Kojima.
different- Is Kojima going to be there?
I think I'm not allowed to announce that. Please edit that out.
But we can't.
I hadn't heard
cool
that, so probably not.
Okay.
You just beep it out. Literally just beep your mouth
Sure.
out.
Because that'll make people excited. That'll make them
There
excited.
will be cool
We'll do
people
that.
they did announce, like Adam Sessler is going to be there as a panelist.
Yep.
I think someone in this room might actually be there.
I'm not a panelist. I'm like a
But you might be on it
social
somehow.
sentiment person. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Social
social.
Yeah.
Because you're
Wait,
social.
what
you're
happened to social
sentimental, so
spondit?
it works.
What's up?
Social spondit. What happened to that?
Social spondent. Yeah, that'll
There
be
we
my
go.
job title. Yeah. Yeah, lots of cool. I think the multiplayer premiere of Sunset Overdrive is what we got. You know, I don't feel comfortable saying what we got anymore because I know
Yeah,
You
It's-
should have
it's-
the, you
it's
should
just
have
it was
the
in the
public
press
list with you.
release.
Yeah,
So
just look
it's
at a
a press
preview.
release.
Well, I just want to say that there are legitimate things that I am going to be upset I'm not going to be standing in front of. Like you and I are going to be very busy that day.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Huber, who's behind the camera, just everybody's just going to be like, crapping their pants on Monday because it's 12 hours straight of all of these announcements, and there are 3 or 4 things on that show. When I went through the list, just like fist bump, like yes,
Yeah.
so excited to see. Tons of new footage, lots of new stuff to talk about. Interesting the way that they're setting up the stuff that they see at the show, because it always seems like there's smoke and mirrors, but like it really is stressful to figure out like how are we going to show this game? What's like the best way to demonstrate like the best part of these games? Like
Yeah.
our games are so complex in this gen that
Yeah.
you can't just like, I'll take this 3 minutes and throw it in. So I mean, like Phantom Pain, the map's like so big. It's like, how do I, other than showing him on a horse riding really fast to just like cover the environment?
Yeah.
Like, how do I show that?
Well, that's the same thing with the we were talking about The Witcher 3 and how they didn't have a live demo, and like maybe they will in Sony or Microsoft's conference. But then I think about what I saw last year, and that being like 30 or 40 minutes long, and I'm like, okay, how would they even get this stuff across in like a shorter, like 5 to 8 minute chunk? It's
Yeah.
kind of hard.
And yeah, actually, that was the case for a lot of them, where it's just like, well, we can't do a live demo. We're sorry, we're going to show you gameplay. You know what I mean? Because it's like you can't demo what you said, a chunk of The Witcher. It's not possible. You need to sit there for 3 hours.
But E3 is the best.
It's the best.
I just want to say that. I just want to put that out there. This is my 12th E3. Game Trailers was born on E3. It was born on E3.
No, it's 13th.
The morning of 2002. So it's our
so that'll be
12th.
13th because that was the
13th?
first one.
Oh my God, it's my
You got to count that
It's
year.
my unlucky E3.
Yeah.
2000. Oh no.
Yeah, me and Brandon's first year is the same year, even though we didn't know
Gulp.
each other.
Did you ever stare at each other?
I had no.
Okay.
Well, I'd have to go like that.
Sure.
But I had never even heard of E3. And it's always been in my backyard because I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And it's like Christmas is to humanity what E3 is to video games. I mean, it like I could tell that first trailer happened. I got in Monday morning. It's like, oh, and it's like Mortal Kombat. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that feeling of I didn't know that. Oh, I got to see this video now. Only happens during this 2 weeks. It's unfortunate. I wish it happened more throughout the year.
Yeah.
But they really just everybody cares all of a sudden, and then 2 weeks from now we'll go back to like ho hum, back to what's the next game on the release calendar, But
to our drought. Yep.
if you guys are in any way into game trailers or the content that we do, next Monday all of us will work harder than we have ever worked the entire year. We'll put all of that energy into one day.
Yeah,
and
and
it
then-
is certainly worth watching.
That actually continues because every night we're doing live streams and first impressions and first takes.
And episodes of shows.
And episodes of shows. It's going to be a huge week next week. We're putting videos
Sleep
up all
is
day.
for babies.
Can you speak to that a little bit, actually, Damiani, what we're doing every day next week? Because actually, I'm still not clear.
Every day, you mean
Nightly.
nightly?
Yeah, when we get back.
So Monday night we're doing 9 to 11. We're scheduled to do like a post-day recap. So
9 p.m. to 11
So we're doing
p.m.
3 hours on Friday
Yep.
of what we expect a little bit, and then Monday night's gonna be like, all right, we saw everything. We're gonna we'll figure out like what we're actually gonna talk about. Which would be
Sure.
like, what were the big announcements? What was like the coolest game we saw?
Wow.
Whoa, that thing.
Yeah,
about
I can't
right?
wait to talk
It's
about that.
basically gonna be
live.
like
trailer about that thing?
we got to decompress a bit.
Sure.
So we're gonna decompress live with everyone, and like we're gonna see the chat going nuts. Like, did you see that stuff? And it's gonna be like a fun kind of decompression party.
Cool, I love that. I'm
And
so excited
prepping
about
for
that.
us actually having to go to the show for the next 3
day.
days.
Yeah.
And then that's what we will be doing. So we're doing first takes like we did last year. The difference is some of them are going to be done live.
First takes live.
We will try, and when we get back each day, we'll try and update somehow on the Twitch page to tell people which ones will actually be happening.
Yeah.
But if you tune in from 9 to midnight, you will be seeing a bunch of different first takes done live. It will usually be with I think around 2 people will be in there.
Sure.
So it will be a lot of discussion first, but the people who will be a part of that will be taking Twitch questions for a little bit about what they saw.
9 to midnight live every night is insane.
That's the slot we have, so I'm not guaranteeing we're going to be running that whole time. But
I could certainly talk
in case there are people who need to go later, we'll have that front page promotion. We'll be on the front page of Twitch. So if you can't remember twitch.tv.gametrailers, just go to Twitch's homepage or our homepage on GameTrailers.com. There'll be something on the big little massive images linking you to our stream, and you can check them out. And those you'll be able to see faster because the first takes that we do shoot will take a little bit of time to go up. So these will be a chance for people to immediately see, like as fast as possible, our reactions to the games we got to play that day.
All right, promotion's over.
Oh,
yeah. That was a lot.
It felt like we were like selling, but it is important to know that like we're excited about those things.
it's a nice ego boost. I really enjoyed that. We can't do that anymore. Okay.
That was an ego boost?
Yeah, we're awesome.
Sure.
Go team.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I was saying. It's like the one, it's like there's so many. I hope
do that.
Right.
Woo. Damiani, get
Voltron.
in here. Get in here.
Like, I hope we give. Oh, hit the mic again. I hope we give off the illusion that like exciting stuff in games is always happening, but it's not. Like there are months that are real dry, real boring, and we have to just make stuff happen. Write editorial pieces or just like keep the industry relevant.
Yep.
And it just happens. It's just
in E3 it just happens for
font
you.
of awesomeness.
Yeah. Very, very excited. We do have enough time. Quickly, I want to know like what you're seeing next week and what you're excited to like go actively like go talk to those people who are making that and things like that. Brandon, go first. What
Disney
you got?
Infinity.
No
one's going to talk about Disney Infinity.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to get to play it, which I didn't get to do last year. I got to watch people play it and ask them all sorts of questions, but I didn't actually get hands-on until Comic-Con. So it's cool that I'm going to be behind closed doors. I'm not bringing a camera. I'm just going to spend the whole time just like want to run right to the controller. And last year I got to take home a figure, which like if I got to take home Cap or something, I'd freak out this year. And Batman, even though I'm a little bit lukewarm on it, the Batmobile battle mode.
You're going to walk in with your arms crossed and saying, impress me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad thing to walk in with.
And Dying Light just came out with a gameplay trailer that, oh man, do I want to play that game?
Really?
I was way more into Dead Island than I thought I was going to be. I really, I loved that world and just that whole survival aesthetic.
Cool.
So, yeah, those 3 games. A lot, Witcher and everything else, obviously. But.
Yeah, Blood, where are you going to go see that you're excited to actively go see?
I'm definitely seeing Witcher again, and so always most excited about that. Somehow I got booked as the guy to do executive interviews, so I guess that's going to be the most nervous thing I'm doing.
Yeah, dude.
I've talked to Sony and Microsoft about their press conferences, and I'm like, what do I ask about?
That is really exciting. Are you going to be critical or what? Don't throw them softballs.
I guess. I don't know. I haven't done an interview on that level for a while.
Show them the hard-edged Bloodworth. Don't hold back.
So.
Are you wearing a suit? What do you even wear to an executive interview?
Oh, yeah. Wear something that's not scrubby, but yeah.
You're still going to be yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's real exciting, Blood. Damiani, what are you going to actively go see?
That's pretty cool. So I was supposed to go get a hands-on with the Phantom Pain.
Okay, but
which I took great delight because I was going to complain that my controller wasn't working at one point, and they needed to switch out the game or something, in which I was just going to pop out Revengeance and be like, can I put this in? This is a better game.
Sure. I'm glad they... What did they cancel on you because they heard about your trolling?
They probably heard about that and they're like, whatever.
Did you really... You don't have an appointment for that?
So Ben actually has the appointment now because it was a time thing, and it's no longer apparently hands-on.
All of this is going to change this afternoon. Sure.
Yeah, and it might change again. So I might be going back, so I might be bringing my copy of Revengeance with me again.
Don't do that.
Revengeance 2, Believe the Hype.
So wait, what are you actually going to see that you are excited for?
There are 2 things that currently aren't scheduled to see that I'm a little bummed out about, but I'm going to Nintendo, so hopefully they have X playable.
Sure.
And I get to actually play X.
Yep.
And be like, thank you for
making a good game.
Thank you for letting me play something so awesome, hopefully. Yep. If that is not playable, I'm just going to cry.
I hope that game doesn't get slipped to next year.
I'm just going to cry.
It has to.
I'll cry in front of Reggie. I'll be like, Reggie, you've hurt me deeply here. I'm going to check out Nintendo stuff, so Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Get to finally play that. And then the 2 cool things is the Sakurai discussion that you and I are going to get to go to, apparently. And then we're both going the next day. That's Tuesday night. And then Wednesday night, we get to go see the mystery 3DS title.
Unannounced 3DS title. I'm so excited about that. A round table. Damiani, I've never been to a round table in my life.
It's what it is. If it's the same as it's been the last few years, it's a theater room.
Okay.
Like it looks like a college classroom.
Sure.
With
Sure.
a triangle shape.
Yep.
And it's like it's staggered like that. And they have like the screen up, and they'll show videos, and then they'll have like Bill Trinan and another translator, and usually whoever the Japanese developers are there, they sit on these like raised chairs, and they just discuss a bunch of stuff, and they go over.
Can you imagine if that was college?
Yeah.
And then they take Q&A at the end.
Took every day. Nintendo 101.
They usually have what's his face. Kit Ellis usually goes around with the microphone and goes up to everyone who raises their hand and goes, "All right, you get to ask a question now."
Are you going to be embarrassed if I ask questions?
No, but you're probably only going to get to ask one at best.
I will ask one question.
Yes.
Are you going to be embarrassed if I demand that we sit up front?
I mean, it's first come, first serve usually.
We're going to be first.
So you just sit wherever you want.
Up front.
We were. I went to it actually with Ben last year because he was freelancing and he was invited to it.
Yeah.
We were in the second row, so
that's pretty good.
Anywhere you sit's pretty good. It's not bad. It's raised seating, like stadium seating.
I'm so hyped for that. And I'm going to the Smash tournament.
Oh yeah.
Which will be cool. I'm going to do that. I don't think we have a camera, so I'm just going to go and maybe we'll talk about it later that day.
I just want to say this because I don't know anything about anything yet. No inside information, but currently there's nothing for Square Enix scheduled.
Yeah.
So I'm
I was going to say
really nervous right now.
Realm Reborn expansion, maybe.
That would be. I mean, they already announced that stuff today for the patch that went live today, and they are going to have a live letter there about the next expansion or the next patch. Sorry, not the expansion. The next patch. They might talk about the expansion, but there are two games in particular that I'm talking about here that there's been no mention of anything for.
Yeah.
15 and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And Tomb Raider
2. And Tomb Raider 2, apparently. And getting just a little bit nervous now that Square Enix usually puts out their lineup by today, latest tomorrow. So I'm dreading that press release where it's no mention of those two games.
Don't count, yeah.
Well, but they didn't say anything about 15 or Kingdom Hearts before.
Well, no one knew about
Sony
Kingdom Hearts, so there was no reason for them to say anything about that.
I think they enjoyed. I'm really curious to see what Sony does after going up such a high last year.
Yeah.
And I think Square Enix also had just one of the best moments of the whole show.
I'm talking about playable, though. If it's going to be playable there, it'll be in the press release. If it's not playable and they don't mention the press release, there's still a chance it's at Sony or Microsoft's press conference with a new trailer.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about playable.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, that's a pipe dream.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
But 15,
That's not playable. TGS.
Oh, that's you guys are falling into the trope of every
Please
year.
be excited.
No
Yeah,
versus
TGS.
13 at E3.
It's gonna be a
It's
TGS.
TGS. Don't worry, TGS.
Doesn't show up
I'll be
TGS.
at the Square Enix Jump Festa. It'll be there. Don't worry. It'll be
Doesn't show
there.
up, no.
Nope, not there. Next E3.
Yeah.
And the cycle
We
continues.
can't fall into that cycle.
Nope.
Let's just assume that game's never coming out, and then we're safe. Our feelings are safe that
Still
way.
excited.
Let's do some bets.
Okay.
Bets.
Actually, before the bet, I want to do one clarification.
Oh, what's that?
Begin clarification music.
What?
I still won last week, right?
You won last week. That's fine. This has nothing to do with a bet. It does have to do with you, Brandon. You were talking about a show. You couldn't remember the title of the show.
Out of This World, right?
Yeah. The show is Out of This World.
Yeah. And Burt Reynolds was the voice of her alien friend. She had like an
Her
AI
father.
or something. Her
Father,
dad, that's
yeah.
right, who talked to right. Okay, yeah.
And the interesting bit of
Which I don't
trivia
remember.
from John Kennex is that Burt Reynolds, he was the voice of the father, but did not want to be associated with the show, so his name was never in the credits.
The funny
great.
thing
That's why I
is,
didn't know.
So
is
funny.
I had enough of a vague memory of that to where even though I didn't know that at the time, I could confirm it in my head, like replaying the voice talking to her.
I was really proud of myself that I didn't know Charles Dance was in Witcher 3, and I saw that trailer, and like 3 words in, I'm like, Tywin Lannister, thank you. So,
End
maybe that
correction
enough.
music.
Oh, good.
I'm glad we had it up that whole time. So, our bet this week. How long will the longest trailer be in any press conference? And, as Damiani stated earlier, the Nintendo
changed this from what he
digital
said earlier.
event counts as a press conference. How long will the longest trailer be? Brandon, you can still pick who goes first. No, I guess who's the last person who won one? It's me. I pick who goes first. Blood, I'm going to make you go first.
Okay. We're talking a trailer, not a live gameplay demo, right?
A trailer. Yeah, there can be no gameplay. Also, bonus points for naming the name of the trailer.
8 minutes Metal Gear.
8 minutes Metal Gear. Brandon,
6.5 minutes Metal Gear.
y'all ready for this? I'm going all in. 7 minutes. The Last Guardian.
No.
Yeah, believe it. 7-minute Last Guardian trailer.
When's the last time Sony's ever done a trailer at their press conference has been that long that hasn't been Metal Gear?
Dude, Last Guardian's happening, right? And if it is happening, they have to blow it up with the hugest trailer of all time.
No.
Yeah,
They do?
they do. They have to.
No.
All right. Well, 7 minutes is still a good bet. I think you guys are thinking about Metal Gear Solid 5's trailer. That is the extended one.
The red band from last year was 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's a red band. That was not in a press
the
conference.
regular
No,
one
yeah, I'm talking
was
about- yeah.
7 minutes.
Okay.
All the new parts were in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it makes me worried because he said it's going to be disturbing and men falling into madness. So maybe there's going to be another
Yeah.
red band version.
Right.
But that can't be
And
in
a
the
way
press conference.
shorter
But that
version.
one can't
Right.
be in the press conference.
Right.
So I'm actually going to say 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because someone's going to tell Kojima, like, hey, like, that was a little too long last year. This year need to be a little bit shorter.
Sure.
Just a little bit shorter. It's probably come from Sony executives.
But you still think the longest trailer is
Still going to be Metal Gear Solid
5?
5, The Phantom Pain, and it's going to be 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Great bet. We'll lock them in. Bets are locked in. We have to talk about last week's bet, of course. Last week we had a fun bet last week. Mario Kart 8 on the Nintendo eShop. If you go to like the page to buy it, it's got ratings. You know what I mean, like 5 stars. And beneath those, it's the question. It's a really funny phrased question. What kind of play style is the title most suited for? And then a person can select either casual or intense. And so the bet was, at this point in this week, what would its casual percentage be of Mario Kart 8? It started off, it was 46% casual at this point last week. Today, it is 64% casual,
Wow.
36% intense. Unbelievable.
They have obviously not watched the Luigi
I
games.
cannot disagree more with that. Yeah, that game is so intense. What are you reviewing it like that for? So that unfortunately means that Justin won the bet because he said 50-50. And if Justin wins the bet, that means Damiani wins the bet, adding to his total.
So
I
bitter.
would have said 90% casual. Would I have still won if I said 90%?
No,
Yes.
you wouldn't have won. You wouldn't have won if
I
you
would
did
have
90.
lost. Okay.
So you got lucky there, Justin.
You wouldn't have?
Justin did you right.
Maybe not.
No, I was pretty close. I had 48.
So videos, huh?
So yeah, well, hold on.
Okay.
So
my little videos.
you
have
get
to, hold
to
on.
you get to promote one of your little videos on our website and on sign us off. Yeah. We're good. And
All
we'll
right.
see everybody after E3.
So we've been doing the 30 days of E3 thing that's been going on. So I would really like it if people checked out the hopes and wishes videos for both Zelda,
One video.
Wii U,
Don't you dare do both.
and Final Fantasy 15,
How
which is
dare you?
going
That's
up.
2 different videos.
It's a series.
It's serious.
Oh my gosh.
2 videos. You're making this go longer by arguing.
Sure, all right,
It
go
should have
ahead.
been shorter. The 15 one, I'm curious to see people's feedback about what they want out of 15 because I'm really curious about that. But the Zelda one, you should just watch it and just remember, like,
He's straight up trolls.
the whole no, it's not trolling. The customization thing, like, real quick, it's not that I want like some sexy female Link. It's just, and it doesn't even have to be Link. Just give people the ability to play as a female lead. That's it. That was the message I was
The
trying
way
to
you
put out
wrote
there.
it sounds like you want us to be able to like pick his armor and like
I know,
put
and like you know,
bracelets on-
what I meant by
How long is
customization, like
Link's nose?
Pokemon X and Y, like your
Yeah.
trainer, like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should
not
have just
like-
said that.
I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, Bosman, like 90% of the stuff that I read, I'm just kind of like, okay, another script, okay, moving along, gotta work, gotta get stuff done.
Yep.
That I stopped mid the tracks. I was like, I didn't change it. What? Like, wait, let me start reading this, and it's like, okay, but it's great because it's an editorial, and we say in the intro, it's like these are Mike Damiani's thoughts.
So
I'm
yeah,
like,
I didn't mean to like. I'm sorry that I didn't write that part as well as it should have been.
Yeah.
And I didn't get my message across. But it meant like give people the option to pick a female lead. Doesn't have to be Link. It could be Zelda. It could be Sheik. Whatever. Just give that option in the next game. That would be like nice.
My wife was thrilled about that concept. She was like, "Yes, finally! Oh my god,
And you
that
know
would make
what?
such a huge
I don't want
difference."
to. Yeah, that's awesome. I like hearing that. And like, I didn't mean to make it anything more than just like. It would be a cool option. But like, when people got angry when I said, "What kind of the Zelda fan? What large part of the Zelda fan base?" And just to clarify, every time I go to an anime or gaming convention and I talk to like Zelda cosplayers or Zelda fans, it is always female fans who are telling me, "I wish I could just like have a female Link or a female lead in that game."
And I mean,
and they don't mind Link at all. They just wish they had the option for that.
No, you defended
Yeah.
it well. You said his name is Link and he doesn't speak because they wanted that connection.
We can get
with
into
it,
like
right.
forever debate
Yeah.
about how like defined Link is, and
Right.
that made me a little bit sad and regretful about some of the Zelda fan base. But watch it and just know that like it would be nice to have more options for who you actually play as.
Yep.
Even like play as Ganondorf maybe. Like just throwing that out
That's
there too.
Hyrule Warriors.
This
That's
outro is longer than the video itself. Too.
Anyway,
Okay, all right,
sorry,
yeah,
but that's it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, there is no GT time next week for now, and we'll be back the following Friday. So it'll be the third week of June. As always, if you like any of us, you can follow us on our Twitter accounts. And my little show and Kyle's little show. We all have little shows here. I'm being equal little to everyone. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you in 2 weeks. And watch our E3 coverage. Yeah.
I'm so pumped for E3. This made me more.
I love the Xbox. 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 Xbox.